A lot of people will not tell you that they're using a lot of these websites. A lot of people will gatekeep, and I don't want to be the content creator that gatekeeps. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a new YouTube video. And if you are not subscribed,
what are you doing?
Are we ready for the holidays? I'm excited. I'm ready to eat some food. I'm not sure if I'm ready to put up my Christmas tree and all these other things that I bought last year, thinking, I was doing something, because who's taking it down? Today in this video, we're going to be talking about some different companies that you can work with to get PR, because let's face the music. When you are starting out on your journey of content creation and wanting things to talk about or wanting products to review, it is very hard to do that when you don't have a whole bunch of people following you, when you basically don't have anything to work with. So being that I am a small content creator, especially on Instagram, and I wanted to do products and do product reviews for different companies, I decided not to do email. I know a lot of people, when they're starting out, they will email companies, and I just feel like it's a waste of time. You got to wait for them to respond. You don't know if they're going to respond, or they send you back the email that they have people on their PR list already, so they'll get to your application when they get to it. Basically, there has been a couple of companies that I did reach out to, but again, if you're wanting to do product reviews out the gate and you don't have time to basically wait on them to decide if they're going to send you products, then we're going to be going into some companies that I have been working with, especially that has helped me with just testing out products, doing product reviews, and things of that nature. I will say a lot of these platforms, a lot of these websites, they do have requirements, and that is the downside of applying to these different brands and companies that do send gifted products or will pay you to test out their products. They want you to have high engagement on your Instagram and TikTok, and even here on YouTube. They have strict guidelines on what you can do in the videos, what you can't do. So making sure that you're taking those things into consideration, because I'm not going to lie, it is kind of annoying versus you just going to the store, like say for instance, Ulta, you buy a foundation and you do a review on it. You're not going to have these guidelines of what you can say, what you can't say, what you can't do, what you won't do, what you have to do. And then they do have guidelines on what you can say in the captions. So because a lot of the products that I do get is gifted, I have to mention that in the captions. So there are a lot of rules and regulations when it comes to ads as well. You have to mention that it's an ad. You can't just omit that, because you can get into some serious trouble. I will say in the past month or so, I have been making money with testing products for different startup companies, and that's where it's at for me. I love that they reach out to me or I reach out to them, and depending on what they're looking for, we move forward. And I have done a couple of ads, I have done a couple of paid product reviews, and so it's been awesome. Not gonna lie, it is the best feeling in the world to get paid for just reviewing a product, and who doesn't want to do that? The first company that I want to talk about that I absolutely love is Skeepers. Skeepers, I think they had a different name before and they changed it. You apply to the company to review the products, and they have different brands on there. They basically give you 4 tokens, and these 4 tokens you can use to review the products, and you can only do 4 at a time. And if you are good about doing the product reviews, following the guidelines, and doing them in a timely manner, because that is a big one for the Skeepers website, then you can get more tokens as you go. I have been exposed to different makeup brands that I never heard of before that I got to review, and they have all different types of things on there. So it's not just skincare and makeup. With Skeepers, especially when you apply, you need to go in knowing that you probably won't get accepted, because again, like I said earlier, what they are looking for is you to have high engagement on your Instagram, high engagement on your TikTok. They don't want to see that you have ghost followers, so don't buy followers. I don't know why you would do that in the first place. They're going to know that because you have to connect your Instagram and you have to connect your TikTok. Now, if you're someone that don't want to have your socials connected to these platforms, go ahead and wrap it up. Don't worry about it because you have to connect your socials in order to be accepted to these platforms. The downside with Skeepers is I feel like a lot of times when I go to apply for something, it's already out of stock. And I'm like, so why do y'all still have this posted up here? Because I'm assuming once they upload whatever the brand is looking for or whatever product it is, everybody's going to apply for it and getting accepted. And so once it runs out, that's it. And they will send you an email and it could be a day or two later, and it's really annoying to me. So keep that in mind. Also, they do have strict guidelines, especially when it comes to the captions when you're doing Instagram reels or Instagram posts. So you have to make sure that you're mentioning hashtag gifted or whatever it is that needs to be in the caption is in the caption. Because if you go to upload the video, which is something that you will have to do before you post it to your Instagram or TikTok, they're going to monitor and see if you have the information needed before you can even post. Skeepers is one of the companies that does not do paid ads. You're not getting paid for the products. You're just simply getting the product in exchange to doing an Instagram reel, an Instagram post, TikTok reel, whatever it is that they're looking for. You're getting the product and you're doing your thoughts, whatever instructions they have to do the post. That's what you're going to be doing. Another company that I will mention that I really like as well is Statusphere. They are similar to Skeepers, but the only thing is I feel like their matches are a lot better than Skeepers, because what's going to happen is when you do get approved for these platforms, they will ask you a set of questions on what you like, what you don't like as far as products, makeup, your clothing size, food, anything to do with what the brands are needing. They're going to ask you a set of questions to narrow down what it is that you're looking at. So when you go to apply to these different products or apply for these different campaigns that they have, you're not looking at, dog food if you don't have a dog and stuff like that. So making sure that you're filling out these questionnaires to the best of your ability, so they're cutting down on what not to show you to do reviews on. With Statusphere, they do a better job, I believe, in honing in on what your preferences are, so you're not being shown a whole bunch of different products again that you're not going to do reviews on. With some of the campaigns on Statusphere, you do get gift cards. And if the brand decides that they like whatever post or reel or story that you did for them when it comes to the different campaigns that they could have on there, you could actually get paid for an ad. A lot of these companies, they want individuals to do ads for them. And so you can place a bid and tell them what your price is. And if they like your video, they can pay you for that. So I really love that aspect about Statusphere. Even if you don't get a bid from a company, you can still get a gift card. I've gotten $50 to $75. It's not a whole lot, but again, you're getting the product, you're doing a review on the product, and then you're getting the gift card. So in my opinion, that's a win-win. It's not a whole bunch of money, but it's something, it's a little something. And on top of that, again, if the company likes the video, they like the story, and they want to use that for an upcoming ad or campaign that they're doing, they will pay you on top of that as well. The downside to Statusphere, though, I've heard that it's very hard to get in, and thankfully for me, when I did start the application, it took about 2 to 3 days and I was accepted on the first try. My TikTok, however, did not get in because you have to have high engagement, guys. They don't just want any and everybody on the platform. And you need to make sure that your followers are not spam accounts and all these things, because ultimately the point is they want real people seeing the products. They want to drive traffic to their profile. They want people to spend money. And so if you have spam accounts that's just following you, if you don't have high engagement on your platforms, then it's going to be a lot harder for them to do that. The downside with Statusphere for the past few months that I've seen is that when I go on there, again like with Skeepers, a lot of things are out of stock. So I just did a campaign with Neutrogena, which I really enjoyed doing. And then I did a campaign with Express, loved that. And then for the month of October, I wasn't seeing a whole bunch of traction because I would go on there and see all of these different campaigns, but they were out of stock. So with these particular platforms, you need to have your notifications on. You have to, unfortunately, be checking your email like a crazy person, because when they send those emails to let you know that they have new things that you can review and these new brands that you can work with, once they're out of stock, they're gone. With Skeepers, the other hurdle that you have to get through is if you go to apply to a campaign, you're not automatically accepted. You will have to wait for the brand to basically say yay or nay. And that's one of the downsides of Skeepers. Statusphere, once you have a group of campaigns in front of you that you could do, you're automatically going to be put in the queue to get that campaign. And that's one of the reasons why I love Statusphere, because they're not just showing me a whole bunch of products for me to apply to and waiting on the company to respond. Once I get that particular campaign, it's in my face, I can apply to it, and then they'll send out the product. Another platform that I use very, very heavily is Insense. They are just like Skeepers and Statusphere. The only thing is a lot of the products or campaigns is gifted, so you're not necessarily getting paid for it, but there are a couple of paid campaigns that you can do as well. Insense also does paid campaigns as well. So if the company likes your work and decides to work with you, you can place a bid on what your prices are to do a product review. And so Insense has a lot of companies that are startups, and they have a lot of companies that are wanting people to review their products. So I do about 4 to 5 product reviews from Insense a week because they have so many new brands and things on there. The downside of Insense, though, is I feel like a lot of the companies, they are a little sketch. What I do for Insense and what I recommend anybody do for any company that you're working for is to, look at their Instagram, look at their website, look at their products. And if it's not aligning with what you would do, or you don't want your face on their website or Instagram or things of that nature, don't do it, because a lot of the companies, they seem sketch. They don't have a lot of followers. They don't have a lot of traction. And you could just tell that they're just putting products out there and they're just needing people to review them. And so there's a lot of companies that reached out to me that wanted me to review their products or talk about their products. And it's just like, yeah. With Insense, there are a lot of companies that are looking for content creators to review their products. And I just overall love the platform. I've gotten, again, so many different products, and I've done product reviews for Insense because there's so many companies out there looking for content creators. I haven't got any paid collabs yet, but again, for me, it's about the exposure, getting experience, and just having products to test out. I really, really am in the space of just getting as many products as I can to review. And if I like it, I talk about it. And if it's something that I recommend people to get, I will do that as well. And so just the journey of learning new things when it comes to products and collabs and campaigns and bidding. It is so much to take in, but I have enjoyed the experience thus far because I would never in a million years think that I would be here being able to do this. And so the last website that I want to talk about, and there's a whole plethora of websites, guys, out there that I've applied to. And there are still some that I've applied to that I haven't heard back from the company because I believe a lot of people, they get a lot of applications on a day-to-day basis, and so they can't handle all of the people that's trying to apply. I am sort of okay with the platforms that I'm on now because if you take on too much, you could get in this rut of trying to race to get the product reviews out there, trying to get these campaigns done. And so take your time. That's the advice I'm going to give you before I get into this next website. Take your time. Don't do too many at once. If you can handle doing all the product reviews back to back, then by all means, give yourself time. A lot of these campaigns and brands, they will give you 2 weeks, some of them even less than that. So making sure you're understanding that you have different deadlines, you have different products that needs to go out on certain times because they do have seasonal campaigns, seasonal sales. And so they tailor those things in hopes that they will find a content creator who will be able to put those things out in the time and manner in which they need them. Collabstr. This is by far my favorite website that I have applied to and done campaigns for. And do you know why? Because I get paid to do these campaigns. And so for the month of October, and I could just share this with you guys because why not? I made $270. I did 2 campaigns for these companies that I absolutely love and stand behind. And I thoroughly enjoyed the process of doing the campaign, uploading the information to them. And so Collabstr, they're the same as Skeepers and Insense and Statusphere. You're going to need to apply. They have to accept you based on the information that you have on your Instagram or TikTok. And they have a plethora of campaigns that you can apply to. This is just only getting me to the place where if I one day am able to do a campaign or do a product review or collab with a bigger brand that's paying more, I will be ready because I have been able to do all types of content for all different types of companies. And it's just been a wonderful journey to be on. So overall, between having several gift cards from Statusphere and working with Collabstr, I've made about $400. So I am thankful, and to get the exposure and to test different products and do reviews, let me just give you a couple of tips and a couple of things that I've been learning along the way. Not to mention that I get regular emails from different companies who will reach out to me. They are not on any of these platforms. They just reached out to me through my Gmail. If you are putting out high quality content, if you're continuously reviewing products for different companies, people will see that. Companies will see that and they will work with you. And they're not on these platforms, that you have to apply to get products and stuff. So that's what I want you guys to take away from this video, is to put out the content that you love. Talk about the things that you love. Put out quality content that these brands can see, because a lot of them, it is about how you're presenting the product. It's about the quality. If it looks good, 9 times out of 10, they're going to want to work with you. And that's the experience that I've had so far working with these brands and working with these companies. My first advice is going to be work on getting followers for your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, so that way you have organic traffic coming to your profiles, because you don't want to have fake followers. You don't want to have fake engagement. These companies want to see that you have people actually engaging with your content. So making sure that you're doing that. Take your time and pace yourself. You don't have to take on everything. You don't have to review every product in the world. And it's going to save you a lot of heartache. Number 3, have fun. If you're not making money from it, if it's just you doing a product review, that is fine. Practice getting the exposure. Practice, working with these companies, being able to talk to them. That is what's ultimately going to set you up in order to do bigger projects, bigger campaigns. Later on down the line, being able to give higher prices for your work. And so that's where I'm at now, working on a way that I could get to a point where I can give my prices, and we can talk about that in a different video, because bidding for campaigns and getting paid for campaigns is 2 different things. How you should be pricing out your reels, your stories, photos, that is a whole nother realm. We will get into that on another video, but I just wanted to give you guys a couple of tidbits. A lot of people will not tell you that they're using a lot of these websites. A lot of people will gatekeep, and I don't want to be the content creator that gatekeeps any information. This is what I'm doing for now until I get to a space again where people are just reaching out to me, asking to produce content for them, and nothing's wrong with that. I don't think anything is wrong with that. So if that's what you need to do right now, fake it till you make it. It is all about learning and enjoying the journey while you're doing it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this YouTube video. My camera stopped in the middle of filming, so if you see my camera kind of shift from what it was in the beginning of this video, I apologize in advance. I love you guys. Please stay safe, stay beautiful, stay blessed. Peace.